Greetings, I'm Slice, and in this video we'll be showing you every single character questline in Elden Ring's Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. Every single character step by step, all of the dialogue, and all of the cutscenes. Of course, this contains spoilers for the entire DLC, so keep that in mind. We are going to start by going to the three-path cross side of Grace. Talk to Freyja and Hornsent here.
Lady Leda spoke of you. You're that tarnished. Guided here by kindly Mikola, won't we all? I am Freyja. I once fought alongside General Redmane. In battle, you can be sure I'll hold my own. Oh, did you speak to our dour little friend? If you've yet to do so, have him give you a map of the cross's whereabouts. You'll find more of them dotted about these lands. They are Mikola the Kind's footprints. If you've yet to do so, be sure to have our dour little...
Fie, another. Treading the heels of Mikola. Then, as that woman would surely say, we are in our purposes well aligned. But understand, your kind are not forgiven. The Erdtree is my people's enemy. By Marika long betrayed, set aflame. I believe Mikola's apologies when he says our delivery will come. But never will I see your kind as worthy. And yet my oath I cannot overlook. If Mikola it is whom you would seek, then comrade, allow me to give you this. These are the sites of the crosses I found. I urge you, follow after Mikola. As long as you abide by his footfalls, you will be no enemy to me.
After all of that, we are going to travel to the main gate cross, west from the three-path cross. Travel via horse if you don't have this side of Grace. Talk to Ansbach and more.
You must be the Tarnished. I am Ansbach. Formerly in service to Lord Moog, but now, like you, another soul guided by kindly Mikola. I'm hardly the steady hand I once was. My fighting days are far behind me, which is why I have chosen to dedicate myself to investigation, to discern tender Mikola's ultimate purpose. I'd rather not volunteer service to a new master, unless I know that I can be of use. May I request a service of you? 6 crosses, identical to this one, have been discovered in the... They are akin to tender Mikola's footprints, or gravestones, which mark what he's left behind. If you discover any more crosses, be certain to tell me. I presume you, too, are keen to know just what kind Mikola is doing here. If you discover any more crosses, be certain to tell me. I presume you just what kind...
Hello there. Together, we work. Together. For Mikola the Kind.
After that, we are going to travel to the Pillar Path Cross site of Grace. We are going to collect the Scatter fragment and examine the cross. After that, we are going to start the questline for Thiollier.
Oh, hello there. Are you the Tarnished? Lady Leda spoke of you. Another Tarnished. Guided here by Mikola the Kind. My name is Thiollier. I too am tarnished, and here on kindly Mikola's account. So, well, here's to new beginnings, I suppose. I'm sorry, but well, I'm not much good at anything is all. I'm as weak as a kitten and thick as 2 planks. I've always been this way, since the very day I was born. I'm afraid the only thing I'm proficient in is poison. Sorry.
After that, we are going to travel back to the main gate cross and talk to more.
Oh, I know. Give this to Thiollier. He asked me to find it. I finally found it. Many things we have found.
Travel back to Thiollier and give him the black syrup.
So, What can I help you with? Oh? What's this? I have to say, Sir Moore has an awfully sharp eye, doesn't he? It's wonderful. This ebony, as lustrous as the night sky unending. I don't think I could ever thank him enough, but I'll have to think of something. Ah, forgive me. You two deserve your share of the reward. I'll mix up something special. If you find yourself weary of the weight of this life, then just give me the word. Sleep is a balm. An eternal sleep is an elixir. Is that so? Then take this. This concoction can coax even the oldest of dragons to sleep. For you, it will grant the sweetest slumber for all eternity. So,
From where you met Thiollier, we are going to travel to the Cerulean coast. If you have the Site of Grace, just teleport to the Cerulean coast. We are looking for the Cerulean coast cross. So to get there, follow the path that I'm following in the sped up footage here. Alternatively, you can check out my All Scatter Tree Fragments guide, which features every single cross, every single Scatter Tree fragment in the entire game, all 50 of them. This will also help you progress through the game, as you will deal more damage. Follow the path until you get to the blue flowers area. Once you reach the Cerulean coast area, we are going to travel south. Travel towards the map fragment. Get the map fragment, then keep going south until you reach the cross. Examine the cross, get the Scatter Tree fragment, and then go back to Sir Ansbach and tell him about it.
Righteous Tarnished, what brings you here? Oh, you must mean Sir Moore. Sir Moore is a kind and stalwart ally. He provisions our little outfit. Sir Moore traffics with the Forager brood, his brethren, who collect supplies from all corners of the land. No doubt they find inspiration in his many virtues. These are not your foes, Tarnished. Should you spot any Forager brood, be sure to mind your manners. Righteous Tarnished.
Well, I am much obliged. To think there was a cross left in such a faraway place, and the deep purple water lilies would be blooming there. This can only mean kindly Mikola has divested himself even of that. His adoring other self, his blossom of slumber.
The next cross is the Eye Cross. You can access this cross by traveling to this area on the map. It is right before the Fort of Reprimand. You have to activate the Spirit Spring, just as you saw right there on my gameplay. The solution is southeast. Jump on top of this hill using the Spirit Spring, then continue forward until you find a Site of Grace with a cross. Examine the cross and it'll tell you something about Mikola's eye. After that, return to Ansbach and talk to him.
Well, I am much obliged. I can hardly believe it. He's divested himself of his very eye. Tender Mikola's eye is no mere morsel of flesh. It is a vessel of soaring grace, proof of his Empyrean lineage.
I wonder, does Mikola the Kind intend to sever his very birthright?
His fate as a child of the Erdtree.
After that, we're gonna go through the Bellurat Tower. We're going to go up until you find the Bone Bow, the room full of scorpions. Go back outside and you see this rubble? Go up this rubble and we are going to eventually find some enemies here, the fly enemies. Keep going until you find a Mikola's Cross. Examine Mikola's Cross and then continue progressing through this entire area. Complete the boss fight against the divine beast dancing lion, and then return to Ansbach and talk to him.
Righteous tarnished. Well, I'm much obliged. As suspected, kindly Mikola has visited the lands which hold the tower, and appears intent on wholly dispossessing himself of his flesh. He must be seeking entrance to the Tower of Shadow. Righteous tarnished. Concerning kind Mikola's intentions, why he is here. The full picture is yet to coalesce, but we do know that he is bound for the Tower of Shadow, and that is where he intends to rise to true godhood. The Tower of Shadow houses a divine gateway. A well-kept secret it was, but the gateway was once the birthplace of a god we know all too well.
After that, go through Castle Ensis, defeat Relana, and talk to Knight Leda.
Hello again. Did you meet my compatriots? They're quite the congregation, from places as far and wide as you can imagine. Doubtless they'd have all come to blows at first glance, were it not for the charm kindly Mikola put upon us. This is what allows us to serve together, the work of a living god. Wondering about the Hornsent, are you? True enough. In any other circumstance, he'd be at our throats. Long ago, Queen Marika commanded Sir Messmer to purge the Tower folk, a cleansing by fire. It's no wonder the Hornsent holds the Erdtree in contempt. That aside, man is by nature a creature of conquest, and in this regard, the Tower folk are no different. They were never saints. They just happened to be on the losing side of a war, but it's still a wretched shame.
You have a knack for timing, my fellow. I found the site of a new cross. Take this.
After you defeat the divine beast dancing lion, travel back to the three-path cross, site of grace, and talk to Redmane Freyja.
Ah, well met. That was a fine battle indeed. It heartens me that another warrior stands among us. Among the beckoned. Long ago, I was stricken by scarlet rot in the swamp of Aeonia. Immobile, feverish, and in great pain, I was entirely resigned to death. I was left behind, and only kindly Mikola was good enough to seek me out. My wound was swollen and festering, exuding a most pungent odor, and yet he drained the poison from it, despite my wretched visage. Now, I consider this wound my compass. Let us both take kindly Mikola's guidance to heart. May we meet again on the battlefield. Brave warrior. Do you wonder why the eternally dour fellow keeps his distance? He's one of the tower's Hornsent. I can only assume he fights for his own reasons and carries his own burdens. But we needn't concern ourselves with his affairs. He too was charmed by kindly Mikola and guided here, and that makes us allies. We're not gods, you and I. Even if we did manage to dig up the secrets of his past, I doubt our meddling could ever amount to much.
After that, we're going to travel to the Morth ruins, acquire this Erdtree fragment, go up to Dane, the man in the hat, and perform the emote that you found after Relana. It is called May the Best Win. This will start a battle against him. After you defeat Dane, pick up the Dryleaf Arts and Dane's hat, then talk to Leda.
We are all utterly captive. It is what binds us together. Oh, that man is known as Dane. He's been in the service of Mikola the Kind longer than I. He might be solemn of cheer, but is a fierce warrior nevertheless. There's no cause for concern. Dane's reluctance to speak to you is no fault of your own. We've been acquainted for quite some time, but even I am yet to hear his voice. Perhaps one day. Wondering about the Hornsent, are you? True enough. In any other circumstance, he'd be at our throats. Long ago, Queen Marika commanded Sir Messmer to purge the Tower folk, a cleansing by fire. It's no wonder the Hornsent holds the Erdtree in contempt. That aside, man is by nature a creature of conquest, and in this regard, the Tower folk are no different. They were never saints. They just happened to be on the losing side of a war, but it's still a wretched shame.
You can also get some more dialogue from the Hornsent.
Mikola has said as much himself. He wishes now to throw it all away. He says the act, though undoubtedly painful, will sear clean the Erdtree's wanton sin. The truth of his claim can be found at each cross, which is evidence enough to earn my belief. Go to the misshapen tree of Umbra. In that forsaken place, blood must spill. The blood of your fellows, the Erdtree faithful.
From the highway path cross, keep going west until you get to Shadow Keep. You will hear a sound and a text will come up. A charm has been broken. Now you can progress through some quests before you fight the hippo.
Kindly Mikola has discarded his great rune. The fog that vexed my aging faculties has been lifted, and follies better left forgotten haunt me once again. Once, in an attempt to free Lord Mohg from his enchantment, I challenged tender Mikola, only to have my own heart rather artfully stolen. I knew not how weak I was. I believed that with sufficient mastery, even an Empyrean would be within reach of my blade. I could not have been more mistaken. Mikola the Kind is a monster, pure and radiant. He wields love to shrive clean the hearts of men. There is nothing more terrifying. Righteous tarnished, Mikola the Kind makes my blood run cold. I am loath to admit it, but even at this very instant I wish to run very far away indeed. Righteous tarnished, I
don't feel it. It's broken. Kind Mikola's light is gone, but I stand tall. Together, we work. Together, for Mikola the Kind. I don't know what to do. Our mother abandoned her brood. She did not love us. We are her children. What should we do? Must we be sad forever?
Talk to Moore and tell him to put it behind you.
Maybe that's kindly Mikola's love. Love for all the unloved. Love.
Reset the area by sitting at the grace or teleporting back and talk to them.
righteous tarnished, I am low.
Yes, the unloved. Every single one of us can banish our pain forever.
After all of that, defeat the hippo, visit the Shadow Keep, and talk to Sir Ansbach at the Shadow Keep. This is the first floor of the specimen storage in Shadow Keep.
Righteous tarnished. It's been some time. After unburdening my soul to you, I had hoped to make a fresh start, but there was one thought I could not dislodge from my mind. So, here I am, quite unable to move on. After Lord Mohg's slaying at his dynastic palace, it appears his body has been absconded with and taken straight to kind Mikola. Surely you recall that I once served Lord Mohg as a pureblood knight after failing him in every regard.
and losing sight of my vows. I'd do anything to make amends, in whatever meager way I can. What could they possibly have in mind for Lord Moog's remains? The implications are rather unnerving. What could they possibly have in mind?
From the storehouse 4th floor, we're going to be looking for a Sacred Rite scroll. So we're gonna go from the Side of Grace, continue up the stairs here. There will be a Fire Knight. You might want to fight him. And then we are going to continue onwards until we find some bats. Defeat the bats and then take the staircase on the left side. This stairs will take you down into another room. This room will hold the Sacred Rite scroll. This scroll is to be given to Sir Ansbach. Before we go back to Sir Ansbach, we're gonna continue through this area until we reach the 7th floor of the storehouse. This is where you'll find Freyja. She will be talking.
Oh, hello. I'm afraid I'm busy. Curse upon my lack of foresight. I should have asked Ansbach to impart his knowledge when I had the chance. I'm afraid I'm busy. Truly. I should have asked Ansbach to impart...
After that, we're gonna go back to Ansbach and talk to him. Also, give him the scroll.
What could they possibly have in mind? For the implications are rather... Well, what's this? Yes, I should have known. Even the truth was itself mere folly. As if using Lord Moog to gain entrance to the Land of Shadow were not enough. He plans to use his corpse as the vessel of his king consort. He has forsaken Lord Moog's soul. He desires only his empty shell. It beggars belief, but I'm afraid Tender Mikola fails to grasp the humiliation implied by this act. One thing is certain. My dear lord deserved better. Righteous Tarnished, you have my gratitude. You have given me the answers I needed, but I can hardly fathom it. Such folly. Unto the end. I am a warrior, but I've aged. I cannot afford to act hastily. Curse it all. I know my limit. I could spend the rest of my life honing my craft, and still that creature would be out of my blade's reach. The absolute folly of it all. Freyja, by the gods. She must be feeling the need to reaffirm her allegiance before she heads to war. A true Redmane she is, hardly troubled by the rot. Righteous Tarnished, could you please give this to Freyja? Thanks to you, she too will have the answer she requires. Yes. I can see her barreling into the fray right now.
Receive the letter for Freyja and return to Freyja with the letter. This will award you with a shield.
I'm afraid I'm busy. Truly. From Sir Ansbach. To me, what on earth could it... yes. Of course. As the Festival of War concluded, General Radahn's soul met an honorable end, but kindly Mikola wishes to revive it, which is fine by me. I know it would pain old Jeren, but war has always suited General Redahn best, and certainly far more than any honorable death. Endless war to invigorate the soul, as befits General Redahn, the Great Lion. Thank you. Now I finally cast off my misgivings. Give my regards to Honorable Ansbach. Tell him, if we should meet in battle, to face your bow would be fine enough, but to face your blade would be an honor. Brave warrior. Perhaps next time, we too will meet on the battlefield.
So, we are going to travel back to Sir Thiollier, and we are going to talk to him. He will tell you something.
I had something I wish to tell you. I'm heading south. I've recalled something that Sir Moore said. He discovered deep purple water lilies blooming on the southern shore. That must be where St. Trina was left to wither away.
Thiollier will tell you he will travel south, go through the entire Fissure Cave, kill the misbegotten golden guy, and at the end of the entire cave, once you've gone through all of it and killed everything, you will find a final site of grace and some staircases. Go up to the staircases and you will see this head of a bull next to a ghost. This ghost will tell you something. Go up the bull's head and jump down. Once you reach down, you will see Thiollier's summon sign. Summon him. Fight and eliminate the Knight of Putrescence with Thiollier, and then talk to him.
St. Trina. Oh, St. Trina. What velvety ambrosia is this? Your poison and the sweet sleep that follows. Oh, please, let me hear your voice. Hello. Thank you for your help. Without it, I wouldn't have seen St. Trina again. I'm drifting off in the sea of her poison. Soon, I will hear her voice. Let me be. I won't be long. Oh, I almost forgot. You mustn't follow my example. St. Trina's poison would plunge you into an eternal slumber. It must be me, and only me. I am gone, adrift in sleep, so that I may hear St. Trina's lost voice. Let me be. I won't be.
After you exhaust this dialogue, talk to St. Trina and consume her nectar. You have to do this a number of times, at least 3 or 4 times, until you hear St. Trina repeating herself. So continue taking the nectar, talk to Thiollier, continue taking the nectar, and this is how you proceed this quest.
Why won't you share your voice with me? Grant me more of your poison, that I might drift further into sleep. Perhaps then you'll grace me with your voice. Please, leave me alone.
Mikilla, stop. Don't turn the poor thing into a god.
After that, talk to Thiollier and he will have something else to say.
Please, leave me alone. I'll thank you not to lie to me. I am the chosen, not you. Only I can doze off in the sea of St. Trina. Why would you hear her voice when I cannot? If you should utter these cruel untruths to me again, I won't be held responsible for my actions. Never Please. Enough. I cannot believe your cheek, and I will stand for it no longer. I will never forgive you, trespass.
Sit down at the side of grace and you will be invaded by Thiollier. Once you take him out, talk to him.
I was no good to anyone. Beginning to end, weak as a kitten, and thick as two planks. I suppose dying in disgrace is fitting, in a way. Tell me, please, assuming you spoke the truth back then. What did Centrina tell you?
Once again, you can drink the nectar and Centrina will say her last words. Take out Miquella. Before you beat the game, you can travel to the Pillar Path waypoint side of Grace and start Igon's questline. This is the Dragon questline.
The pain. Bale! Vile Bale! Oh, terror incarnate! There is life in me yet! I will soon feast upon your heart!
Next up, we're gonna continue following the dragon statues along the path. You will find yourself in a cave, defeat the boss in the cave. From the Dragon's Pit Terminus site of Grace, we are going to travel east. We are looking for even more dragons. So get ready, this is gonna be a tough one. It's good to leave this one for last until you have 20 on your fragments. Anyway, we're gonna continue walking towards this large open area. You will have to fight a dragon, and after you defeat the dragon, take a left here towards these large archways that kind of look like dragon bones, if you ask me. Anyway, travel northeast from here and follow the path past the archways and just keep going until you find a spirit spring. Jump up the spirit spring, then run across the wooden bridge and you'll find a site of grace. Sit here because this is going to be the first checkpoint before 2 large dragons. So defeat the 2 large dragons and you will hear Igon again.
A warrior true, if ever one there was. A fellow Drake warrior. Do you not remember? Under your path, how once you were. Foreign. Drake warrior, dear friend, grant me this one wish. Take this finger, my finger, scale the jagged peak, face Bale the Dread, and when you do, summon me. Summon my soul. My limbs are limbs no more. My heart is twice over filled with fear. But a Drake warrior I remain, and my soul yet lies on the mountain.
Scale the jagged peak, go up the spirit spring, eventually you will find yourself in another boss arena. You will have to fight a dragon Senesax. For it, there is a scatter tree fragment. Keep going up the large tunnel with all the dragons there, and you'll find another site of grace. Keep going up the mountain, there are some very valuable items around here. Once you reach the summit, you will enter another large room. This is the final boss fight against Baal, the final boss fight of Igon's questline. You can summon Igon by going to the left here, you can see his summon sign, and he will fight for you. This will conclude his questline.
Curse you, Baal! I hereby vow you will rue this day. Behold, a true great warrior, and I, Igon, your fears made flesh. Solid of scale you might be, foul dragon, but I will wriggle with holes your rotten hide. With a hail of harpoons, with every last drop of my being. Dread, you shall haunt me no longer.
After all of that, you can return to where you originally found Igon right before this boss fight, and you can acquire his items. This is where he gave you his finger. And that is the end of his questline. His bell bearing sells Igon's harpoons for his bow. Additionally, you can travel to the Grand Altar of Dragon Communion, acquire the Priestess Heart, which will allow you to become a Dragon Priestess by going into dragon form. To get rid of the dragon form, just simply, well, you know what to do. Or you can take Thiollier's concoction, which will also make you, quote-unquote, fall asleep forever. After you defeat Mesmer, travel to Rao base and finish Inner Illim. This is the end of the game, so big spoilers ahead. You will be able to interact with two golden signs, Sir Ansbach and Thiollier, then invade Knight Leda by summoning the red sign.
I thought I'd see you here. It'd been quite some time. It was never kindly Mikula, was it? The Erdtree was leading you all along, so that you might ascend to lordship. Why come to these lands to begin with? I suppose it must be what His Eminence, or perhaps the Erdtree, desired all along. The clashing of the favored lords. Such that one would prevail. So be it. If you insist upon facing Mikola the Kind, then I will run you through whoever you might be. Don't tarry now. Don't you dare approach Mikola the Kind. Needle Knight Leda, Dryleaf Dane, and our allies will never allow this.
I am the Redmane Freyja. The time has come. I could not hope for a worthier foe. This is our moment. Let's make it something to remember.
You and I, fighting. Tragedy this is.
You were fine. In your heart, truly, a glorious battle. It was.
I am Ansbach of the Pure Blood Knights. I stand with blade aloft, blood afire, for the dignity of my lord and master, Mo.
I am here to serve Citrina evermore.
Sad. Forever.
Make the world a gentler place.
You can then collect all of the NPC items except Thiollier and Ansbach. You can collect theirs later after the final boss. After that, proceed onwards and go up the big stairs. After all of that, proceed up the staircase to the side of grace. You can summon Sir Ansbach and Thiollier here. I don't recommend you do this though, unless you want to hear their voice lines. I don't recommend you do this because it will add extra health to the final boss, and this boss is really difficult. Anyway, leave a like, subscribe if you've enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know anything in the comments down below if you would like to see it. This is your final warning if you don't want to see the final boss. Here we go. See you next time.
My loyal blade and champion of the festival. Both your deeds will ever be praised in song. Now, the vow will be honored, and my lord brother's soul will return. so that he may be my consort. Lord Brother. At long last you are returned. Tarnished One. Aspiring Lord of the Old Order. If you have known sin, if you grieve for this world, then yield the path forward to us. To I, Nicola,